It's been a while since we talked about Gabbie Hanna, and people have been wondering if she's okay or what happened to her since she's really been offline. The last we saw Gabbie, there was a lot going on. The last time I talked about her was in December, and she had been talking about her relationship with social media, how she was really regretting a lot of the stuff that she had done in the past. She admitted she didn't really have friends, and she also said that she was trying to grow as a person and forgive others, which we know Gabbie doesn't have the easiest time with, given that she tried to do a multi-part series addressing all the drama that she's had with people over the years, and it just didn't go very well and wasn't giving forgive and forget. It ended up getting her called out by several creators who brought receipts to combat her claims, and she never finished her series. And after that time period, I feel like things just went really downhill for her. Now, as for the last time Gabbie was really active on social media, she was trying to change a lot of the things that she had done, like some of the tattoos that she had chosen to get. She got this neck tattoo that she really liked, and she found this deep meaning in it, but then she decided that she wanted it removed, and she was starting the whole removal process of it, and people were a little confused by it. People had asked her why she was getting it removed, and she tried to explain it a little bit on TikTok.
I was doing everything I could to be anyone but myself because I thought that it would help me heal, and I ended up hurting myself instead.
Some expressed worry for her sudden need for change, and someone commented, "Gabbie, this drastic shifts seem worrisome," but she tried to reassure, saying, "Don't be worried, I'm finally reaching peace after a very difficult few years." People were already worried about her though, given that it wasn't too long before this that Gabbie scared a lot of her followers when she decided to start spam posting multiple times a day on her TikTok. I talked a lot about this at the time because there was a lot of worry that was going around for Gabbie. She was posting so many videos, it was wild. And the videos were not like any of the other content that she had ever posted in the past, so everyone was really concerned. She was yelling in these videos, she was blasting music, she was talking about God in these videos, just things like she had never really expressed before, and people were scared.
Help me! Help me! Wake the up! Help me help us! Mankind. Whoa, man. You guys are boring and dumb. I'm sorry, TikTok. Is that harassment and bullying? I'm sorry. Please don't remove this. The simulation theory is what happens when man can't just admit there is a God.
She had even had a stranger come in her home and hang out with her and film videos with them. A stranger, yes. She had later complained about being annoyed that people were so worried about her because cops kept coming to her home due to the amount of people calling for a wellness check.
And just like Brittany, they put me in cuffs and tried to haul me off to a mental hospital. Thankfully for me, I'm actually sane, but none of this should have been allowed to happen. None of this should have been allowed to happen, and none of it should have happened. The police should not have been pounding at my door so many times. People shouldn't have been abusing the 911 system. People should look for context before attacking a woman and calling her insane.
But this year has been very different for Gabbie, as she spent most of it off of social media. Her last post on TikTok and Instagram are both from February, and some have wondered how this time away from her being online has been for her, if she was doing okay or what. And I actually found out that at the end of June, Gabbie did an interview in a video titled "Finding Balance, Social Media, Creativity, and Spirituality" with Gabbie Hanna. And I was really surprised when I found this because I truly thought that she was offline and not really on anything, because she really has been silent everywhere else. So when I found this, I was like, oh wow, like for anyone that was worried about what she's doing and if she's okay, she kind of answered all of that in this one video. I also will say that there were people that were kind of worried about her because I guess her house was listed for sale at one point. I don't know if it's sold or not or what. She doesn't mention it at all in this interview, anything like that. But I will say that in this video, she talks about stepping back from social media, saying that she's deleted the apps off of her phone. She's also kind of deciding whether or not she should delete some of the social media accounts that she has entirely or what. Right now, they're just not on her phone. She did mention that she felt like TikTok was the worst of all of the platforms, but as of right now, this break has been pretty healing for her.
This is just a season of rest for me because even from like 2019 to 2022, I feel like I was telling myself that I was taking a break, but I still always had these like looming projects. Like I put 2 albums out last year in my year of a break, right? And like there's always just something where like, oh, well, what am I? Am I an author? Am I a painter? Am I a singer? Like last year I did my first shows with my music where I was like, let me see if this is what I want to be doing. And then I feel like I kind of exhausted all of the things that I knew I needed to try to feel at peace. And then this year I want to legitimately just rest and like spend a lot of time just in meditation and prayer, working on my health, working on organization, trying to be as minimal as possible because I've accumulated so much stuff just out of not giving myself the time to actually space it out and like, you know what I mean? I just want to exist as a person. Like we're supposed to just exist.
There's a lot of things that she had time to reflect on since she's been away, and says that pride and vanity wrecked her the most.
Pride is the most dangerous thing. Pride and vanity. I feel like those were my 2 things. Like look what it did. It wrecked my whole life. Like
But you needed it.
I needed it, exactly.
Jim Carrey said, I wish everybody could get rich and famous so they could realize that won't make them happy.
And now I just want to use my influence trying to like push people into a direction of like, don't follow in those footsteps, like follow in the ones I'm in now, because this is the one that's going to bring you contentment. Like,
she also talks about the regrets that she had while being online and some of the things that she chose to post, and mentions the video where she went to go get filler. And Gabbie had mentioned this being something that she regretted putting on her channel last year, and it's clearly still something that is on her mind that she regrets putting out there for people to see.
Let me like I used to promote like, not even like promote, but I mean, I guess technically that too. But I'd be like, oh, like getting fillers for the first time, getting Botox for the first time. And so much of my content came around like doing my hair, styling my hair. And I'm like promoting these really actual dangerous, sometimes lethal, but definitely mentally abusive type ideologies where it's like, oh, well, like Gabbie did it.
She talked about the idea of coming back online and says that as of right now, she's resting and taking her time, but she's let go of the pressure that she put on herself before to do things for content. And if and when she comes back, it's going to be very different for her.
I'm excited to see where it goes and resting in taking my time and just like getting out of that mindset, especially with social media of like, wait a minute, here's all the trends. And if I don't get on it now, nah, dude, that's the beauty of just like having faith in God and a plan. It's just like, if it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. And I don't have to try that hard because it is literally all out of my control. So just let it go.
Let it go.
She hopes the content she makes in the future will lead people to a more peaceful state of being, and she kind of wants to undo some of what she's put out in the past with this new content that she has in mind.
Whatever it's meant to be, just let whatever's supposed to happen happen, and like hopefully lead people to a more, I think, peaceful state of being. And like I feel like I put out so many negative examples out there that I'd like to really reverse that. And I'm really grateful that I've done so many things that, not that I'm ashamed of it, because I think that I was also a victim of a culture that was telling me to be this type of like narcissistic, money hungry, attention hungry type person where it's like all about me. And I want to show people like, oh no, this isn't actually what it's all about. And
Gabbie definitely seems like she's in a better place being offline and not feeling the pressure that can come with being on social media. I guess we'll just have to see if she does end up re-downloading the apps and coming back and posting again. And hopefully if she does, it isn't something that throws her off from this seemingly calm place that she's in right now. Because in the past, she's talked about not having the best relationship with social media and social media kind of making her the way that she was online, which in the end gets her a lot of backlash from a lot of people. So hopefully things don't really go back to the way that they were, and it doesn't go back to just being this toxic place for her if and when she decides that she wants to come back. But that's what's going on with Gabbie Hanna as of right now, and what she had to say a little bit ago about where she's been this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you guys maybe even saw this interview, I know it's from June and we're just now talking about it and it's basically September, but I feel like no one talked about this. I didn't even know it existed, and people have been commenting saying, you know, what's going on with Gabbie? Like, is Gabbie okay? Like all this stuff. And she seems good. She's finding peace and balance and all this. So let me know if any of you guys did see this back in June in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.